Could it be that you're out of balance in the relationship with your husband? So much of the time I talk to women about respecting your husband and that we're designed to be our husband's helper. Genesis 2:18, where God reveals it's not good for man to be alone. I will create a helper suitable for him. And so we can get really, sold in and buy into that idea that we need to be our husband's everything, that we need to cater to his every whim, and it's all about him, and everything I do must revolve around him. I'm his helper after all, and I have to respect him at all times, and I have to do everything for him, about him all the time. And we can go too far. The pendulum can swing too far in the other direction sometimes. Sometimes we can go so far that we actually lose our own identity. We become devalued in our own eyes, like what we care about doesn't matter anymore because everything is just about my husband. He's always right, I'm always wrong. I need to do everything to please him and nothing to please myself. Well, this is probably not going to work so well, because what's going to happen is over a period of time, maybe years, you'll become very empty inside, unfulfilled, because the things that you need to do that are how you're wired, that bring you joy, you're not going to be doing those things because everything revolves around your husband. The pendulum has to swing back to someplace in the middle where we can still respect our husbands and still be their encourager and help them, and yet still have our own identity. Still do the things that make our heart jump for joy. Maybe you are a hospitality person and you just love having people over to your home. Well, if that's how God wired you, in fact, if that's your spiritual gifting, if you suppress that constantly, you're just going to become downright depressed. You're just going to become a shell of who God intended you to be. God says in Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. And my question for you is, has the pendulum swung too far in the direction of your husband that you've become a mere shell of who God designed you to be? Has your heart been crushed? Have you become a doormat? Has your heart become a doormat? If so, pray and ask God to show you where that line is, where you can still be your husband's helper, still respect him and encourage him, and yet still do the things that make your heart sing.